You know what? I'm going to do a Forex rant here. I'm just sick and tired of all of the so-called professionals, and I'm a securities analyst. I'm sorry, not securities analyst. I'm a chief strategist. I'm a currency analyst. I'm the chief. I'm the chief. I don't know if there's anything higher than chief. Not if you're a Native American, I don't think. But what is going on out there? What kind of world do we live in? This garbage about this guy that sent me this email, who it's just I haven't heard from him because I think he probably watched one of my videos or something where I was ripping apart people with so-called trading coaches and all this garbage. Okay, I think there's enough, you know, just a one period moving average and a trend line, right? If you're armed with just that, and of course a horizontal line for price supports, right? I don't think you need much more than that. Of course, I'm on the 4-hour chart here, which is a little bit different than every broker's different, right? But I mean, do you really need a PhD to see a pivot on this chart? Do you really think that? And this guy that hasn't responded to me when I offered to chat with him, because he said, "Oh, you know, you're seeming to be..." Yeah. The reason why I know what I'm talking about, I guess in one regard, is that not trying to sell a newsletter to people, so I'm not gonna. In other words, trading's boring. You know, trading's boring, and trading takes patience. If you're on the wrong side of the market, you're waiting for your trend to kick in. That's another big fallacy, that there's some kind of trend in the market. You know, I could cherry pick any chart and show you, ask you, where's the trend? And you're going to say, you're not going to be able to find a trend. So this guy that sends me this email, he says, "Oh, you know, I watch his videos, right?" And he's going on about, you know, there's 7 banks that control all the Forex market, and they're responsible for all the volume. Okay, well, if they control it so good, why are we bailing out the banks again? Bear Stearns? I mean, isn't there a laundry list of complete morons that managed these banks' assets? They couldn't do it in the stock market. Couldn't do it in Forex. And then here's the other garbage myth. When you trade, you're trading against the best traders in the world. No, I'm not. I'm trading against myself. I'm trading against my fear and greed. The market's just moving. It isn't out to get me. This victimhood garbage. You know, you live in a world now, and a welfare state has crept into people's psyche. And they're taking it to every aspect of their life. Maybe I'm just looking at the worst part of people's behavior, but, you know, I have so-called friends on Facebook, and the stuff they post, I'm like, really? You really believe that? Wow. Okay, but, you know, the line chart has been given up for the candles. And we used to use bar charts. When I was a kid, back in the day, you wouldn't see, if you opened up Investors Business Daily, you saw a bar chart in there, good old Western. Then everybody jumped on the Zen train or something, or they got some feng shui in their life. And they're using candles. Everywhere you go, there's a candle chart. And I'm like, how do you even see what's going on in these charts? And then not only is it a candle chart, but it's this much data. And they got moving averages on there and got bat wings on. I'm like, how can you find a trade in there? How can you even back test? And when I say back test, I'm not talking about building an EA and doing all that stupid garbage like, yeah, I optimized it. No, I mean, you just got to break out the good old-fashioned ruler and just scale these markets for, okay, this is the top, beginning to the bottom, boom. Okay, where would I expect, where can I draw a trend line? Okay, here, all right, well, that broke, and Okay, where's it? If I extend it right, where does it end up? Oh, it's like this weird head and shoulders. And why the market stall out here? Oh, I don't know. Let me look. Let me look back here. Let's see. Oh, maybe it has something to do with this bottom and this top. Now you put it all together, and you can just see that there's a money map here. You don't have to go any further. You don't need to put a bat wing. I don't even have the Gartley stuff here to put bat wings in, but it would be pretty much like you just putting in bizarre Disney characters onto your chart and saying, you know, Mickey's toe, you know, that's my signal. See where his toe's at? You see where he would have his foot if he had 3 feet? That's like, why would you fill your head with that? And why would you trade 8 currency pairs, right? Why would you need, like, if all these rules of structure of double bottoms and double tops are all valid, and you can prove it to yourself, all you got to do is look at the chart and you can see, do trend lines break? Yeah, they do. Is there such thing as resistance? Yep. Is there such thing as support? Yep. Okay, and then it comes down to how many pips are you trying to make. Now, if you're only trying to make 13 pips, it looks like this. I'm either going to buy a breakout higher, or I'm going to come down here and buy a retest. And that's it. I also see these guys talking about trades as if they're going to get in one position and ride it. This guy that emailed me, he's like that, right? One position. And you should have seen his confirmation entry. I think there was less energy spent on calculating how to land on the moon than this guy. Of course, it's now that he hasn't emailed me back, I think it's safe to say I can rip into him. His course costs $300, but it's a lifetime course. Wow. Now, I watched his free videos, and I was like, you know, I don't know if you've ever watched, like, somebody make eggs, and they're explaining it. And you're like, if you've made eggs before, you're like, I don't think you're bringing anything new to the story here. So, what I offer for free on all my free videos is just a stupid, simpleton view. And that's why I call myself simpleton, because on the 15-minute chart, is it hard to get our brain around a double top? Now, I watched this earlier tonight, and I was long from here, and I thought, I'll bet you any amount of money. That's the range right there. And sure enough, after this other 15-minute attempt to get above, bam, back to earth. Now, you could either sold, and this is where it's a matter of taste, but I would rather sell up here than sell on a stop as you blow through the floor here. Not to say you couldn't make 10, 20 pips on that plunge. Now that's, or you could have just sold at the market up there. But if you're going to stick to pending orders only and just make sure you, like, if you're just starting out trading, take one of these drops that risks 8 pips to make 13 and just trade a micro. You're gonna cost you 80 cents plus commissions and the spread to make $1.30. Now, people would say, yeah, but I want to make big money. Okay, well then drop more than one of these, but just don't drop them at the same price. And the other thing is, maybe you're gonna risk $1.50 to make $5.50, and you put the order down here. And it lasts for 4 hours. And if you get filled, if you don't. Now today on FOMC, you could have had pendings up here to sell. You could have had a scalp up there. They rallied this thing. Now this was just before FOMC. It looked like this. You had the double bottom. The buyers came in. They rallied it up. We went all the way up here. And then you got the climax move right here. It only lasted just a brief amount of time. So right there, boom up and then boom down. So up about 30 pips, down about 70 or 60 pips, whatever there. Finally fell through the floor. And, you know, I mean, if you're on the 15-minute chart and you're just going to trade Now this is not the volatility breakout system. That I don't trade that style, but for people that do, I just had that in there. That's mechanical trading. This is a little bit more structure trading, But I can go down to the coffee shop, and I probably will go down there, and I'll just say, hey, can you draw a trend line there? Okay, and can you place an order? Right, and I give them a list of these orders to place, and yeah, and so can you get somebody to trade? Can you get a complete person that has never traded in their life to trade? Sure. The hard part's going to be, they're not happy just to risk 80 cents to make $1.30. No, they want to, and then they're going to overload something. It's always going to be on you. You're not trading against the best traders in the world. You're not. And the banks aren't. If I hear another guy say that the gold market's manipulated, these markets are manipulated. Did you ever look up the term manipulation? It means to move something. Well, of course the markets are being moved, but they're not being manipulated. This is the psyche from the welfare state. I was just watching Stefan Molyneux, and he's saying welfare state is screwing up people's brains. Absolutely, because now people are so crippled from the welfare state in this victimhood of it's a conspiracy because the man's out to get you. No, you're out to get you. You are your own worst enemy. Whether it's the fact that you can't sell the market or buy the market, or you're afraid of winning and losing, those are all your issues. It's not like, the world's not out to get you. You're just out to screw up yourself. And, that's how it is. So, on a 15-minute chart, can you make money? Yeah. It's not a lot. Or you can make a lot of money if you're trading big, right? But it's not a lot of pips. But here, look at this. This tells you right here that, FOMC, could you have traded the news? Yeah, why not? Maybe not like the people say you can't trade the news, you shouldn't trade the news, all that. It's all garbage. I don't think the spread even went that wide up here. It's all pure garbage. It's all victimhood. It's all just, I need some trading coach, or I need to follow this signal service, or this guy knows. I talked to this one trader. He's like, since I started following this fundamental guy, I'm on the right side of the market. I'm like, oh my God, you're trading with a 300 pip stop? Dude, you're trading with a 300 pip stop. I mean, hopefully you got a 600 pip take profit. No, I'm happy with 100 pips. Okay, well, that's just, it's math, right? So if you just did the math and stuff, and there's nothing mystic, there is no Gartley pattern, there isn't like some secret holy grail. It's just, and this is Wednesday now too, so don't forget the swaps are coming tomorrow. Wednesday is usually a swing low day. That's one thing. It's usually a climax moment of some type. But it just doesn't, you're not going to make, and the idea that you're going to track 8 pairs, 20 pairs, this guy from Empowered Trading's telling people, well, you could cut your portfolio. Portfolio? Holy crap, you need a portfolio of Forex symbols? How are you able to watch? Who wants to have 8 kids? Maybe you do want 8 kids. Who wants 22 kids? Who wants to have manage all those things? And he said to his viewers or whatever, he said, somebody asked me. He said, well, maybe you should cut your portfolio down there to like 8 pairs and 4. Take it down to 4 pairs, because when I ask you what's going on that one chart, you should be able to know, like, right in your mind what the daily's doing on the Aussie and what really? You know, I used to be that guy, right? I used to be able to tell you, oh, I know exactly where we're at. But you know what? How am I going to take advantage of all these things? It's like, okay, I got 8 hot chicks at my house. Which one do I go for first? And when I'm with one, I can't be with the other. So you're caught in the same trap, right? Or maybe you are somebody that's trading all those pairs. I just don't know how you're doing it. Like, I would love to see the guy doing that. And not to mention all the stress and all the, like, here I can run the tick chart, which I can only run 1 tick chart at a time. So I can scalp. I can also look at the bigger time frame. So I'd be aware of this stuff that's going on here. And, you know, if this is all I get here and I have to take profits right here because we're up against resistance, all right, so I get out here. Come back to it. I don't have to sit there and go through 20 pairs. How do you manage that? And how are you, if you just trade 1 pair, then you can have multiple tickets, and you can have a scalp in there, you can have this in there, you can have that in there, you can have all the different things going on in that 1 pair. And you don't feel like you're missing out. You're not looking for another see, now this is the demo broker. They go offline all the time. Now, you know, here's 4 pairs, right? Are you kidding me? Now, unless you had an EA doing this stuff for you, how are you managing all of these pairs? Seriously? Euro dollar. It's plenty, right? Here's your 2 buy signals. Here's your sell. Here's your buy, your long. That's enough. That's plenty. I just don't get it. Maybe somebody could show me, direct me to a video of a guy trading just 4 pairs. How about 2 pairs? And he's just cleaning up all day long. He's just like, oh, I clean up on that. I mean, I'm just damn genius. I just can't imagine. I can't see it. Don't know how they're doing it. Isn't this enough? It's not enough to just trade the euro dollar. Tightest spread on the planet. It's liquid. There's not crazy moves like British pound and all that. It's almost predictable, right? And it's just, why step out? Why make your life tough? Maybe it's a guy thing. You know, a lot of guys trade, not a lot of women trading, as far as I can see. Maybe they're just, I like the challenge of trading. Of course, everybody's trading for different reasons. Some people just want to abuse themselves, I mean, for the masochist, it's the perfect fit. So I've been able to, and of course, anger trading does work. In other words, the market doesn't know you're pissed off. The market just doesn't. All these myths. Every time I hear a myth, every time I hear a supposed fact about the market, I can think of the opposite of that. And I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm trying to be like questioning all of the standard cliches and all the standard garbage that everybody is taught. Well, if that's true, then how come everybody's getting their ass kicked on all these trades? How are people losing their ass, and why are they getting involved in this kind of thinking? Now, another thing here is, if I'm just trading 1 currency pair, I only got to worry about managing the orders that I have. So if my buy stops are still active above me and I don't want to get filled like that, I'll get filled on some stops, but most of my stuff's going to be limits. I can pluck them off because I can see them. I can see them on the platform here. I can just come down into my order bank, and I can see that since these are not flashing, they're too far away for me to get in, and they're going to last 8 hours. So I don't really want those to get triggered. But the ones that are about to turn on, there's only 3 tickets there. I'll get picked up in that stream. It doesn't bother me too bad. But the thing is, the buy limit for me just makes more sense. Because the probability, if it comes down like this, it goes up, just like the sell limit up here would have been the better, not the buy stop. And maybe the sell stop, right? Of course, where was the sell stop going to go? It was probably going to go underneath support here, right? And so, yeah, you would have made a few pips there. But your risk, technically speaking, on those orders has to be like that. But if you're running tight stops all the time, it doesn't matter. Here's 3 times your money. 10 pip stop, 30 pip take profit. So now that, if the market gets quiet, so it's just dilly-dallying here. We're in under a 20 pip range, but I'm already long. And I've already got buy limits down here, so if we come down and retest, I'll get long. But I don't know. That's just my rant. And I just don't get it. I guess if you've traded for at least 6 months in your life, you have a lot of questions about all the stuff you read and hear. And everybody's passing around the same dumb facts and rules. I don't get it. Surely we can step outside and think for ourselves and just take confidence in your own ability to, and then they'll say stuff like, well, patterns don't work. If those work, yeah, they work. In other words, there are triangles, there are wedges, and you can't throw out the baby with the beer, with the the beer water. You really have to realize, for the most part, you're just your own worst enemy. That's all it is to it, and it's possible to be your own best friend, and just find targets that are a little bit less grandiose than the guy that posts the, and I think we've all seen this, a guy will do a thing and he'll say, yeah, well, the euro's going to go like this, and it's going to go like that, and then it's going to go like that. And I'm like, wow, you're just in dreamland, aren't you? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, again, I'm buying the euro, just like I bought it back here at this thing, because of this trend line break.